Welcome back, my darling diamonds in the rough. I am your favorite talking stone, and today we are back with some wonderful hiragana, some wonderful katakana practice. And it's been not a doozy, but it's been a long while since I tried to test my mettle in the Japanese writing system. By that I mean I didn't do it last week. So it's been 2 weeks, not 1 week. And 1 week's already a long time. But 2 weeks, oh my. I hope I can get through this. I hope I can withstand it. But yes, the busyness that I have faced is coming to a slowness. I no longer am getting home an hour from now. I'm getting home now. Well, not now, before now. Fortunately, stream is still late, but you know, we have our gives and takes, I guess, I suppose. You know, you can't always get everything. Just a lot of things, some things, maybe things. So, shall we hop right into it? I think we shall. Want to get nice and cozy, nice and comfy. Oh, I do have one thing. Mildly disappointing thing. Is this the right thing? Yeah. One mildly disappointing thing. I did not get the opportunity to finish my book. It is still sitting at, what page is it at? Still sitting at page 200 on the dot. Well, I say I didn't get the opportunity. I did, but I started another book instead of finishing the first one. I feel like an adulterer for that. To cheat on my literature like that. To move to a different book while I haven't even finished my first one. Wow. And the worst part? The floozy I've cheated on this wonderful paperback book with. I don't even remember their name. I don't recall the name of the book I cheated on my first book with. Wow, this is some sort of telenovela drama. Don't know. I don't even know the name of that book. It's in my bag. The reason why I didn't finish this book, but started reading another one, I have a reason. Separation. I did not want to bring this beautiful book on journey with me. So I didn't want to carry it in my bag. I didn't want to get it tossed up because it's really beautiful. It has a nice cover. It has some nice pages. It's a really beautiful book. I don't want it to get tarnished. The other book, I don't want to say I want it to get tarnished because obviously I don't. But if it so happens to engage in some rustling and some tussling, I would mind it less. It's a cheap. I'm sorry. How do I say this? I'm sort of comparing it to prostitution in terms of literature, which is not necessarily the most appropriate thing to do. Not necessarily the most appropriate diction to refer to it as. But yes, so this is my confession. I cheated on my literature with another book. And I hate to say it, but the other book was a bit more girthy. 300 pages. Granted, I'm only a little bit onto it right now. But that size. Well, this one is longer. It's a bit longer book. The book I'm currently trying to finish, page 200, themselves. It's longer, but the other one has more girth. So I wonder which one's actually better in terms of that. But size doesn't matter. It's about enjoyment. And the enjoyment I've gotten from the books has been insane. I remember actually, I'm covering the fictional eras of the first book. The other book I was reading, I remember reading it, and I was on the train, and I read it, and I got to a page, and I turned to myself in the reflection of the glass, and I just made a face like, oh my, this got real. Needless to say, it is a good book, and I am enjoying it. But I do feel bad for cheating, in that sense. Right. So hopefully after the stream I'll finish up my wonderful little book. But instead of reading literature, we need to read characters. And this character before me looks like the kana for day, D-E. I'm just going to put it, I'm not even going to check. Can we start it off? Correctly. Yes, we can. Sue? Okay. So we're not entirely clueless. In fact, I'm feeling... Oh. Right when I say I was going to feel confident, I always feel confident at the most inopportune times. And it's quite the pain indeed. And this one, I do forget this one for some reason. No, it's Cha, Chi-H-A, correct? Yes. Okay. I got confused for a moment, but luckily we were able to persevere, pull through, and go through. And I always forget on gohoneko.com, or sorry, yeah, gohoneko.com. gohoneko.neocities.org. Whatever the site is. Well, that's what the site is called. I always forget it doesn't like the Y in Ja. It likes you to remove that Y in the Jaws, the Joes, the Jews. It likes to remove that Y. I don't know why. Because I'm just glad it doesn't say I'm wrong. Because I don't like being wrong. I like being right. Oh. Chi to G. But this is actually pretty nice. I thought we'd be struggling a heap of a lot more. But yeah, I don't mind. Granted, we're only 14 guesses and 13 correct answers. So maybe I'm honking my own horn a little bit too much. But I do have some. Well, this one I don't know. I think it's so, but I'm not entirely sure. Or it could just be the letter N. I'm gonna look. I'm guessing it's so, and I would guess wrong. So this is so. I'll double check. Okay, so it's the angle of that little dot. Interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking around the room because for some reason it feels like the brightness changed. But I guess it's sunset or something and the clouds moved away? Not that I mind that. In fact, I welcome it. It's a nice glow. It's a comfy glow. Can I even read in this light? Yeah. Wow. I'm surprised. I'm used to having to turn on my main light in order to read at night. And it's a bit less enjoyable than just reading in normal light, but it still has its fun. It still has its charm. Good old natural light is nice. I like things when they're not too bright, but some nice natural light when you're like a shitty area. Like, oh yes, I need or a farm while reading. Is that the right way to phrase it? Or a farm while reading? That's something I want to try doing. I don't know if I'm explaining myself. Well, I'm not explaining myself at all. So let me try. When I read, I'm imagining something incredibly picturesque. Think of maybe like maybe you're sitting in a cafe, you're well dressed, you're sipping your hot cocoa. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of coffee or tea. That seems like the only wrong opinion to have in terms of coffee versus tea debates. There's a lot of wrong answers, but that is the most wrong, to not pick a side. But a hot chocolate. Oh, actually frozen hot chocolate in this climate, in this weather. Summer. It's summer now, and it's hot. It is hot. I yearn for the days when it would be maybe a cool 70 all day. Instead of 70 at 6 a.m. Sorry, over 70 at 6 a.m. That's not nice. Well, actually, it's decently nice. I actually had to go outside, which is terrible enough already, going outside. But I had to go outside at 6 a.m., which is even worse. However, it felt like 8 a.m. because it was sunny out, and it was 73 degrees. It would have almost been nice if it hadn't been incredibly humid, because it was incredibly humid. It was painfully humid. I was sweating so much in the morning. That's never fun. That is not fun. This was yesterday, which feels like a week ago. I'm going to be honest. My perception of time is all over the place. Anything but good. And, well, anything but here. It's just kind of the worst, my perception of time. Days feel like months. Months feel like days. And for some reason, I feel like I had a better perception of time when I was younger. But then I remember when I was younger, and I would have the same confusion about how time would pass, where days would feel like months and months would feel like days. But I guess that makes me feel nostalgic in a way. A bit of a positive light. No complaints there. Well, do I have complaints? No, not complaints about how I'm perceiving time, but complaints about how I should be more organized. I'm not a very organized person, I'd say. The closest thing I have to organization is probably my stream schedule on Twitch. Shout out to it if you're watching on Twitch. Love you, respect you, you're doing amazing. And if you're watching on YouTube, love you, respect you, you're doing amazing. I hope multicasting works, because it's hard to monitor both at the same time with my single monitor. I have something on the side that helps me, but it's not a good help. Well, it's a great help actually, but it's working with what I have. It's, what's the saying? Country girls make do. I feel like that's used in a more inappropriate context though, now that I say that aloud. Well, I'm not either country nor city. I'm just guy, I suppose. Well, I'm just rock, and this rock is making do the only way he knows how, by... Sorry, brain froze. My brain froze. Oh my. I'm just making do. I'm just going ahead. And that's Pyo. Oh my. But I'm going ahead. I believe in myself. Is this Ra or Wa? It's Ra. Yes, Ra. It looks like the ramen bowl. That's my visual cue for it. I've tried to remember my visual cues. For instance, this one, I forget if it's Mo or Moo. I do forget if it's Mo or Moo, but it looks like this is the katakana for Mo or Moo. It looks like the hiragana for Mo or Moo. I believe it's Moo. Moo. Yeah, it should be Moo. It's not. It's Mo. My gamble did not pay off, but this is G. I don't remember why I remember that, but I do remember that, and that's what matters. Right, and Za? Lovely. I'm trying to prepare for the next step in language learning. I'm obviously going to keep doing this, but I want to actually, how do I say this? Learn the language, not just the writing system. I feel like I've dipped my toe enough into the writing system. I've contributed enough time to where the sunk cost fallacy says, hey there, buddy, I'm not letting you go. The sunk cost fallacy is holding me prisoner in its basement and force-feeding me Japanese, even if I don't want it. But at this moment, I do want it, so it's sort of mutually beneficial right now. Future, some days it won't be, but for now, for the short term, it is. And with how my reading is going, which I'm actually decently committed at, which I was surprised, because I will say, I think I mentioned this briefly, I did Aura Farm as reading. I think reading is very picturesque. When you read a book, you sort of look cool, in a way, not always, but I feel like there's a certain, I don't want to say aura, because I already said aura, there's a certain just natural ambience to it, to reading, and at certain locations it just gives certain vibes. And I was reading on the train the other day, and I think it was really nice, because what else is there to do on the train? I do recall looking around, everyone's on their cell phones, which, granted, I was on my cell phone too for a bit, but then I pulled out my book, my floozy of a book, because I have to say that, because I'm not finished with the first book I was reading, so it's sort of like an adulterer thing, which I only feel mildly guilty about, because the special one I spent time with, the special book, the floozy themselves, they were quite the draw. They were quite the fancy, and I certainly did fancy them. Not as much as my Pride and Joy on my desk, the other book, my main book that I want to finish, but Oh, it's fun. Reading is fun. Reading is really fun. I think, I'm going to be honest, reading's more fun than scrolling through like social media, YouTube shorts, or blah, 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 whatever. Whatever you go through, reading is more fun than that. I just think those other things are more addictive. Is that controversial to say? I don't think, or at least I don't think it should be. I don't think it is, but at the very least, I don't think it should be. And I say this as someone who took long periods between reading books. I think reading is fun. I really do. And I'm really enjoying my reading. But it's something I also have to carve time out for. Because the phone, my cell phone, I can do anything on it. It's so addictive in that sense. And it really just is incredible at capturing attention, for better or for worse. It is just amazing at stealing your gaze and having you look at it. Everything is optimized for you to stare at it. And reading isn't the same. Reading is more reading is more of a, how do I say this? It's like not a sensual encounter, a romantic encounter. Where you're building that slow burn romance, maybe like a fictional setting where, maybe the classic guy meets girl, there's a slow burn, the rising action, and the climax is in tune with the climax of the book, where you feel the peak joy. It's as if you're in your wedding day, and the book just says, I do want you to finish reading me. And oh my, it's just a blessing. And then, through the many years, you are left with the memories of said book. The one who has been betrothed to you, you have their memories. I have their memories. But this isn't about marriage, this is about Japanese language practice. And I don't know why I went back on book tangent again. But it is fun. And, now that I'm not being forced to read books for school, I think I can really dive into it. I think I could really dive into reading for fun again. Because it's been a long while since it was fun. I tried, no, it hasn't. Actually, it's been a couple of years. I remember reading a book for fun. What was it called? It was, I forget exactly the name of the book. It was, but I remember, was it not the Odyssey? No, it was Circe by Madeline Miller. Yes, that book was really a fun read. I'm a big, not sucker, but, sucker for, mythology, particularly Greek mythology, Love Percy Jackson. So much so I even read the Roman spin-off, which I don't remember as much, because I don't think it was as good. But Percy Jackson was amazing. And really got me into mythology. Of course, I've read other mythology books, the Red Pyramid series as well. I think those were my big three in terms of mythologies. Big in Roman, in Greek, and in Egyptian. Which, those have some of the most publicly notoriable mythologies in the world. I feel that the three most notable widespread mythologies. I could be wrong on that. Or does Christianity count as a mythology? I don't know. I don't know about religions. I think religions are classified as something different, so I won't say that. But yeah, those are the big three mythologies, and I was a pretty big fan of them all. Oh yeah, I remember going to what was it called? The Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Arts, and I love their Egypt section so much. I really do. It's incredible. It's a really incredible section. They have like a little like a foul period in it. Pyramid. Oh my, I apologize for my tongue tied. And a lot of relics. Actually, I think I have pictures of them. I won't look at them now, but yeah, I actually went there for a school trip, believe it or not. Not that you shouldn't believe it, but yeah, I went there on a school trip, and oh my, it was just wonderful. Yeah. Wow. Sorry, I'm gushing over my memories. I apologize. I'm not even describing them well. But the beautiful marble statues of the Greek and Roman exhibits are some of my favorites. Then, of course, you have, I remember this beautiful mosaic, I think in the Roman section. Like Roman history, Roman architecture. It is quite the beauty. Quite the beauty indeed. Sorry about that. Wow, this is really mellow. I really love the music. It's really calming. I've been using the same track for a while. Maybe I should touch up on it, but now I have to remember what this is. Is this goo? Wait. Fu? No, is it who? I believe it's who, H-U, but I need to check. Oh, it's boo, boo, boo. Yes, okay. I understand. I understand. Lovely. Lovely. Is this... Oh, is everything okay? Okay, good. I thought things were frozen for a second. My apologies. And this is T-H-U? Chew? Lovely! This is just absolutely wonderful. And it's like I never even skipped a week. Not that I intentionally skipped a week. It was very much an accident. I just got home so incredibly late. And my stomach was just so incredibly hurt that even someone as passionate as I couldn't bear to stream. I need energy. I'm almost putting myself to sleep. I hope... It's just such a cozy vibe. I have my nice lights on. I'm surrounded by my pretty things, my toys, my whatever you want to call them. The objects, my... You know, there is a word that describes perfectly what these things are to me. These objects of intense desire. Unfortunately, the word is more commonly used for things more freaky. But I will specify that these objects of my desire, these one more time, these objects of intense desire, these fetishes, because that is another definition of the word that is less commonly used, but perfectly resembles what I feel about these things because I intensely desire them. Actually, now I hope I'm using it in the right way. Oh no, what if intense desire was... I know Merriam-Webster specifically defines it as objects of intense desire. That is what I believe the big governing body of the English literature says. That is the verbatim way they phrase it, from what I recall. Okay? So, there is a 95% chance I'm using it the right way. But I thought it was 100. So that 5% chance that objects of intense desire could mean something more sensual is causing me to be afraid. Let's just phrase it like that. It is causing me some undue fear. And I don't like that. But yes, objects of intense desire, that is the definition, one of the definitions, the lesser known definition, but still a commonly used definition, I can gaslight myself into believing that's true, of the word fetish. An object of intense desire. An object of intense desire. I'm just repeating the definition so it's very clear what I'm referencing. Object of intense desire. Maybe it was a mistake to open my mouth in regards to that, but... I mean, it's just... I'm referring to this wonderful plush, this box set of manga, my books, my little knickknacks, my calculator even. My calculator is my fetish. Why did I... You know, it sounded wrong when I was saying it, but I still continued to describe my calculator as an object I intensely desire, an object of intense desire. Calculator, fetish, object of intense desire. It fits that to me because it's my beloved calculator I had for... It's been well over a decade. Has it been 15? No, okay, well over a decade is not true. It's probably been around a decade. Or probably a bit over a decade. My TI-84 plus C Silver Edition my not so rusty, oh, actually, it might be rusty with how old it is. So yeah, my rusty, trusty calculator, always by my side in times of need. Okay, this is one of the more out there projects I've had to do for school scenario, but also one of the more talkable ones. So, for a math class that had nothing to do with the following things I'm mentioning, nothing to do with realty, nothing to do with programming, nothing to do with logic gaps, nothing to do with engineering, just math. What was it specifically? Was it geometry? Specifically geometry. Specifically a geometry course. We had a midterm project. Was it a final project? I forget. I believe it was a big project. On our calculators, program something that would tell you the value of a house. Based on the rooms, based on the location, based on blah blah blah. We had to write a program for that. Which, I should have realized was ridiculous the day of, but I'm only realizing now that that's quite the ridiculous 180. And also, it's not the calculator can be programmed in like Python or C. No, there's this own specific thing on the calculator that you have to use to program it. And you don't program it on a keyboard or with a specific interface. You program it on the calculator itself. On the TI-84 Plus C Silver Edition. Or whatever equivalent calculator you want to use. You program it on that. And, it actually didn't go poorly. Which I'm very surprised about. But I'm just saying, a lot of other classes just had to rap about the Pythagorean theorem. No, sorry, not the Pythagorean theorem. They had to create songs for oh my gosh, what is that for? I forget the name of the formula, but oh my, what is oh no, what is the name of what is the formula? I know the term. Okay, what? It's the formula to find the zeros of an equation of a. Oh my gosh, my mathematical diction is leaving my forehead. Oh no. What is it? Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. I believe that's what it is. Now I have to just remember what that means. What does that mean? What is the word that describes the quadratic formula? Yes! I still got it. Yes, my peers in other classes just had to rap about the quadratic formula. Whereas the peers in my class had to program to become our favorite house-flipping television show. And it was, I will say, it was a fun project. I can't even deny that. It was something that I had some fun engaging in. Wasn't my best work, but it was definitely work. It was definitely work. What was my best project? Well, let me try to think in math. Oh, I know my worst project. My worst project was a research paper. I worked in a team of 3, and it went incredibly poorly because we were expected to write I think like a 10-page paper for math. Which, I can barely write a 10-page paper, period. But in math, it's, no. Well, that was me then. It was a research paper on the topic. And I don't even remember what topic we did. I don't even remember what we did. I just know we did everything wrong. We didn't have... It was a terrible project. The writing was terrible, because... In my group, we probably had the 3 least talented people in terms of writing in our class. Or at least 2 of the 3. Myself included in that too. I was not gifted in the literature arts as well. Specifically writing. My writing was very crude and redundant because it had been trained to be crude and redundant. hadn't been trained to be entertaining or insightful, crude and redundant to fit some tortured system, another brick in the wall, to quote, was that Pink Floyd? Oh my gosh, I don't remember old bands. My old bands, I mean bands that are older than me. I don't remember them too well. I apologize, but yes, another brick in the wall. That's what my writing system was. It was so boring and just not good. I wouldn't say it was bad, but it wasn't near good. Well, that's not doing it justice. My writing system was just plain. It was boring. It did what the paper required, but it did it poorly. Not poorly. It did what the paper required, but it did it in just the worst way possible. In the most painful to read way. At least with bad writing, you can have fun with it. I remember hearing stories about people who write some weird hook as their one-liner to get like into the writing mode, and sometimes they forget to change the hook at the end. So it's like, today we'll be reading about Shakespeare, and this chuckle buddy got a little rambunctious with the, I don't know, who's something. This paper is about how Julius Caesar mocked Gaul, so buckle up, strap your seatbelts, put on your 3D glasses, because we're about to experience the bigger roasting than Kendrick and Drake. That was, I'm sorry, I'm trying to ad-lib. I'm not the most energized, and my brain is a weary one at this time. I haven't had the chance to rest well recently. I've been getting 7 hours of sleep, which is decent, but I haven't been able, it's only been sleep and work. It's not been anything else. It's not been anything fun. So I'm a bit out of sorts. So again, I apologize for that, but, yes, my writing system, my way of writing was just so bland, so uninspired, so painful to a reader, because it was just it was just built to be that way. It was just trained to be that way. For worse. But yes, so combine my terrible writing style, my boring, bland writing style, with a severe lack of passion in this project, with bad instructions, because there was bad instructions. I won't blame the failure of the project solely on the poor discipline and skills of my group. I also will blame the teacher for this one, because the teacher's rubric was not that good, not that informative. We were not trained, even as high school students, to write 9-10-page research papers. And I think he wanted a different style, and he conveyed it rather poorly. We were actually given an extension on the deadline because of how wrongly formatted, or done in a wrong way, everyone's paper was. Not just our groups, but other groups as well. Which, you know, if the kids gifted in literature, in writing, get an extension because the paper's not necessarily in the way my teacher wants, that relieves some stress off my shoulders. And it gave us a much needed extension to make a still mediocre product, but marginally better. But yes, it was probably the worst thing I have ever created in terms of a school project. And I've had some pretty bad projects from a viewer's perspective. For instance, in my last year of high school, I wanted to, we had a project, we weren't even sure if we were going to present it, we had to make a presentation, and I wanted to get a little goofy with it. I think I mentioned this once, but I remember we weren't sure if everyone was going to present it, because it was like the last week of school, blah, 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 and presentations were going slow, only maybe 1 or 2 a day, 2 or 3 a day, I should say. And I remember the teacher saying, yeah, this slide, it's pretty good. A little longer, this 15-slide slideshow. So, I was feeling a bit rambunctious, a bit of a diva, a bit of a devil. So I thought, wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if I made my slideshow as long as possible? I'm not even sure if I'm going to present it. But wouldn't it be funny if I just made it as long as possible? 40 slides. It was over 40 slides long. Granted, some of these slides were, how do I say this? Very much bland. There were nothing slides. There were slides to go through in maybe 3 seconds, like a transition slide. A slide forward just to transition to the next slide. And a lot of the slides were nonsensical. I used all the space I could just to blah 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 fill it out. On one of the slides, I had a dancing skeleton because it loosely related to my project. I just did everything I could. It was very low effort, each of the slides. But it felt like a cute little prank to pull. And I never ended up presenting that slideshow. I'm certain I would have gotten some snickers, maybe a little giggle, a little chortle, a laugh from the crowd, from my peers, or maybe horror as they watch me trudge through this entire slideshow. Granted, I do think my slideshow would be probably about the same length in terms of time duration as others. I do believe that. Not incredibly so, but I do. Yes. Lovely, lovely. Alright, she to she to Zhu. Right, but what is my favorite? Because that was a quote-unquote bad project. But it was only actually as part of a sub-project, and also it was fun, and it didn't really matter. So, what was my favorite project in all of academia? Well, I remember in 5th grade, this is one of my favorite projects. I made a presentation about ice cream. We were able to do a little bit of research and prepare a presentation on any subject of our choice. And I chose ice cream. Because I like ice cream. Everyone likes ice cream. It's ice cream. And I think that was the first time I ever had fun making a presentation. Because I was really engaged with the topic. I think engaging, how do I say this? I think engaging yourself in a topic is a really good way to how do I say this? Want to work on it. If it's something, like, to find a passion in what you're working on makes it just significantly easier to work on. That's something I believe. And I think that was the first time I ever experienced that in presentations. Granted, I think I started to love presentations a bit more in my later years. I think I found a lot of fun with them. And but that was probably the, not the core memory, the canon event. Yes, canon event in my world to make me enjoy making presentations. Of course, presentations come and go, and I learned more about presenting things and blah, blah, blah. But yes, that was a core event. What else? Ow! I scratched myself on the corner of my desk. I'm sorry to scare you. I scared myself. But did it scratch? No, it didn't. So that's good. I'm trying to take better care of my skin. Granted, oh, did I mess up the mic? It should be fine. I hope it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But yes, favorite project. Well, I would think it would have to be for a class that I like, but a class that also has projects. So, what would that be? Class that I like that also has projects. I don't know. Did I do anything for physics? I really liked my high school physics course. I really did. So I'm trying to remember if I did any big projects for that, but I don't think I did. And if I can't remember it, I can't remember it. Math. I did not. No, I made a lot of projects for math. But what would be my favorite project of math? I talked about the ones I didn't like. What about the ones I did like? I did one on Pascal's triangle. That was a really fun presentation. I did it the night before though, because I am a chronic procrastinator. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, I am a chronic procrastinator. Right, what is this one again? I forget. So this has the... I'm sorry, I'm going back to this. I need to think about math for a moment, but I'm trying to remember this kana. This is the katakana, and it ends with the U, but what's the first letter? Let me look at this and let me think. My guess is goo off the top of my head because it's goo. Oh, it's just goo. Oh, it's zoo. Sue to zoo. How do I remember that? Alright, well, it's zoo. We'll just remember it's zoo, I suppose. Yeah, that'll be simple enough. Easier done than said. Yeah. Easier done than said. So, let's just do it. Right. This is she to show. S-H-O. Ooh, my back is hurting. I heard, actually, to combat back pain, some people like to, you know, like from a pull-up bar where people will do pull-ups? I can't do pull-ups, but I can hold my weight on there. Like, I can lift my legs, I can hold onto the bar, arms extended, lift my legs off the ground, and just hang there for a little bit. I hear that does pretty good for back pain. I don't know why. I don't know if I trust it entirely, but I sometimes try to do that. To, like, basically take the weight off my, my back, my spine, and just hang and stretch it out, I guess. And I think it makes it feel better, but I also think it might be a placebo. So, I'm not sure. I'm going to probably try to keep doing it if I can. Because it's fun. It's a good time. Good time might be a stretch. I notice I sometimes just do when I'm trying to contradict a point I just made. So, I apologize if that's annoying. I'm going to try to limit that. I don't think I can stop it. But limiting, that's something that sounds doable. That's something that seems doable. I hope. I hope it is. See? I didn't do it that time. I didn't do it that time, even though I did contradict my previous point. Ooh. Should I go for a massage? Because also my neck is stiff, too. I hear massages are more... Well, I didn't do the A that time. Well is also part of that. So maybe I should tone that down as well. But I'm not sure if they're placebos or if they actually work if you're very tense. Truthfully, I'm not sure. If someone has gotten a massage, then tell me. Well, I know it feels good. But I'm not sure if it's more of a placebo for relieving, like, tension and stress and, oh, your shoulders are all tense up there. But my shoulders are tense. My back is tense. Everything is tense. Everything is tense. Oh, yes. I also want to regain my flexibility. I like the idea of being flexible. I don't think I've ever been... Well, I've been decently flexible. I don't think I've been incredibly flexible, but I've been decently flexible. And I think my peak was probably around the end of high school. And the reason why I say that's my peak was mainly because of my hamstrings. Is that the right muscle? I could never do a split. I never got close to a split. However, I could do an incredibly deep lunge to where my inside thigh of whatever my extended leg was, the inside of my thigh could touch the floor. That's how deep my lunge could go. On either leg, it didn't matter which one was the extended leg, in the deep, deep lunge, it could touch the floor. And it's something, when you are that flexible, you kind of take it for granted. Because you assume that you'll be able to do this forever, and you assume that it's not that special. But I remember in my freshman year of uni, I did it once. I was with some classmates. We were talking about a project we were working on. We were getting, I think, lunch or dinner or something. And for some reason, I just pulled that out while we were waiting. I think, was I picking? No, I wasn't picking something off the floor. That would be strange. But they just mentioned how I should do that when we present, and we presented some like live. I don't know how to say it. We sort of did like a live scene from a book we were reading, like a live. I think the book we were reading was like a play, right? And we were depicting a scene from it, but we had to change the theme, and we changed it to like a college party, and we changed like the character scenes, like where I was, instead of the drunken main character, I was the drunken freshman student in this play. And we said it contributed to the main character because drunken freshman students are annoying, loudmouth, not very sociable, very awkward. I know I'm saying just the same thing over and over again, but there's one more thing I wanted to say. And just annoying, kind of a pain, unfiltered, uncensored, out there, cocky. You get the gist. And my character was also kind of... How do I say this politely? A unlikable person. For lack of swear words to use. And there is a plethora of swear words that could be used to describe them. My person. My character. But as you, my viewers, are very aware, I am very good at being insufferable. I am very good at being just quite the pain. So I think I nailed it with a hitch. And I did pull out that move, the leg to the floor move, in with my flexibility, just once. And it was a cool little gimmick. It was a fun little gimmick. And it basically went unnoticed, though. But the presentation itself was great. But yeah, I overestimated how rare that flexibility was. I mean, obviously, if you, like, I'm sorry, I did the well again. I should... flick myself in the forehead for that... How do I say? Indulgence in it. But, what was I on about? Well, I did something. Oh my gosh, what did I say? What did I just say? I underrated my flexibility. I feel like that's something that most people can't do. However, not well. However, if you do train to be flexible, I think the common person can do it. If like the average person or even a slightly not so flexible person were to train their like hamstrings to be more flexible, I do believe they would be able to achieve the same level of flexibility as prime me. Prime me. I'm still in my prime. Ah, lovely. I do believe they'd be able to get their leg to the floor in a lunge. An extended lunge. They would be able to get their leg to the floor. Lovely. Lovely. So, why did I talk about that? Oh yes, math projects. I tangented. I apologize. I tangented quite a bit. I'm trying to talk about my favorite math project, but I can't remember any of them. Well, no, I can. I remember that one the two I mentioned, the realty programming, like my phase in what's a house flipping show? I don't know. A house flipping show off the top of my head. I just don't know. But yeah, I had that. I had my terrible research paper. I do have my senior year projects on my mind. Wow, this is gonna bug me. This really is. Yeah, I don't recall. Well, senior year, I did calculus because I'm a nerd. And we. Do we even have a midterm project? Or were we focused on just doing the tests? The AP test? I don't even know. I don't remember. Oh my. Oh my. Oh me. Oh my. I don't remember. What about freshman year? Freshman year, I remember the project was on Pascal's triangle. It was a neat little presentation. Oh, I think, actually, I have a fun little quote about, not a quote about that one. I have a fun little gimmick about that one. It's about knowing your audience. And I think I did that pretty well. My teacher for my freshman year of high school's mathematics course, they played Skyrim a bit, quite a bit. They like Skyrim. I've never actually played Skyrim. I hear it's fun. I should probably play it. But they played Skyrim. They were an old head in terms of video games, I suppose. If you want to call Skyrim an old head game. They also played other games, but they were an older gamer, I suppose. I think that'd be fair to say. So, in my presentation, one fun fact about the Pascal's triangle that I include is that if you, I forget if it was color the odds and evens, it makes this pattern. Yes, if you color the odds one color and the evens one color, it makes this visual pattern. And at some point I referenced that, oh, it looks like the Triforce from Zelda. And yes, I understand that Zelda, a game by Nintendo, is not Skyrim. However, knowing your audience as a gamer, they will understand what Zelda means. And if you say Triforce from Zelda, they will understand what that means. They're like, ah, that's fun. That's a good pop culture reference. And I think it diversified the fun with Pascal's triangle. I mean, I really am a big fan of Pascal's triangle. I realize there's a good chance you have no idea what Pascal's triangle is. Sorry, my mic almost came out. Let me look it up. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but I really love Pascal's triangle. It's one of my favorite mathematical things. And I only did it on a whim. Pascal's triangle. Not to be confused with Pascal Siakam of the Indiana Pacers. I spelled Pascal's wrong, but it doesn't matter. Wikipedia, my friends, let us hop back over to, is it this? Pascal's triangle. There we go. Yep. Let's read it. Yeah, you can see this on the side. This triangle over here with one to the side. And each row, actually, it's supposed to reflect binomial expansion, which is, say, parenthesis a plus b, close parentheses, to some power. These would be the coefficients. And it's always mirrored. Like, let's say you did x cubed. Well, this is the 0th power, this is the first, this is the second, this is the third, this is cubed. So, sorry, not x cubed. Let's say a plus b cubed. You'd get a to the power of 3 plus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared plus b cubed. That's one way to use Pascal's triangle. And oh, that's a good little animation. And it just does n choose k, which is a combinatorics term that I learned later, actually, which also strengthened my love for Pascal's triangle. But basically, from the previous lines, you add up these two numbers on the side of it, as you see in these hexagons. The hexagons, the top left and top right, whatever numbers they're connected to, you add them up, and that's the number you get. For instance, 1 plus 1 is 2. On this side, you get 1 plus 2, which is 3. Again, 2 plus 1, which is 3. Here, 1 plus 3, which is 4. 3 plus 3, which is 6, because it's touching the 3 and the 3. 3 plus 1, which is 4, which is touching the 3 and the 1. That's a fun little term. And I believe, where do we see the Triforce? I believe, was the Wikipedia? And this is actually the combinatorics of it. 0 choose 0, 1 choose 0, 1 choose 1, 2 choose 0, blah, blah, blah. You don't care about that. I do care about this a little bit. Yeah, Is this the formula for binomial expansion? Yeah, probably. Whatever. Combinatorics. Yep. Relations to binomial and distribution convolutions. Ooh, wait. What is this? Patterns and properties. I might read this after stream. I'm sorry, I might be boring you. But for me, this is rather interesting. I love reading Wikipedia articles on whims. Some of them are very interesting. Oh, yes, this was the pattern I was talking about. What is it? A Sierpinski's triangle. Shading the first 32 rows of past this triangle, while if the binomial's coefficient is even, it is black, and if it's odd, it is blank. You get this pattern. Can I click on this? Yes, I can. Well, can I zoom in on this, though? Can I? Whoa. Yes, and this sort of looks like the triforce. You see the first triangle up here, second triangle over here, third triangle over here. Yeah, oh, I remember, actually, for, not a project, but like, I mean, a camp I went to, we actually made something similar to this with envelopes in a 3D scope. That doesn't make much sense, but basically we'd fold out like the envelopes in a way where they'd resemble a pyramid, and this pyramid would be, let's say, the top triangle, and then we'd stack it on 3 pyramids underneath it. So like this is double pyramid, but imagine there's a period invisible that you can't see. We'd stack it like that, and then we'd repeat this pattern, and we get something like this, which is just incredible. I love repeating patterns in mathematics. It's just the best. I love repeating patterns. But yeah, we'd get this just big, super pyramid. And I loved it. Right, I think we'll hop back over to Kana. I apologize for the tangent. It was very fun. So, thank you for indulging me on my, my little, how do you say? Little escapade, I suppose. My littlest escapade. It's very fun. And this is Ta. Yes, it is Ta. Lovely. And once again, I will say, I'm surprised that we didn't lose our touch. I say that as I have no idea what this is. Temporarily only, though. Okay, no, permanently. I forget what this is. Goo. Okay, so Ku and Goo. Okay. I won't remember that. I might remember that. But yes, I think I want to start actually remembering words. Not just the letter or characters. I want to remember words. Like maybe I want to be able to read ramen and always be like, oh, that's ramen. In Japanese, of course. I want to be able just to see that and read that. And I think that'll help me learn this better. Because right now, I know what this is. But it takes thought. Which, you know, that's not a terrible thing. That's not a bad thing at all. In fact, it's an encouraging thing. I am eagerly awaiting to improve. I think this is the limit of what this can do for me. This kana can practice can do. I think just being able to understand, hey, this is Zu, ZU. I think that's the limit of what this kana practice will do. And I will need this. I need to touch up on it. But if I ever want to like speedrun this, I'll either have to put like countless hours more into this, like maybe hundreds, if not thousands of hours just into learning kana, or I can start reading and understanding that, oh, this is Zu. So that's my plan, I suppose. It's the formations of a plan, but it's my plan. It is my plan, and I will do it my way. I will do it my way, just as the good Frank Sinatra did, or said, or sang, I suppose. Actually, I was actually listening to some I'm going to say old songs, but then I'm going to throw you for a loop. I was listening to some of my favorite pieces of classical music. I think classical music is really good for instrumentals. I really love The piano and cello are probably my two favorite instruments. No offense to the kalimba or the ukulele or whatever I was saying that I know that I want to learn how to play. No offense to you, darlings. However, I just think the cello is neat. I just think the piano is incredible. Those are my two favorite instruments. I don't know why I brought that up, but yeah, those are probably my two favorite instruments, just for them by themselves. And I love some good piano pieces. I think I was listening to my favorite song, Clair de Lune. Was that my favorite classical music piece? No, bum bum. Wait, what about? No, I'd say my favorite classical piece is Canon in D. Specifically, like a more piano-centric version of it, because I believe Canon D is orchestrical, and I really love a piano. I actually really, funnily enough, I really like this Canon D cover. I forget, what is it by? Brooklyn Duo? I think that's... I listened to it today, actually, to remind myself. I believe that was their YouTube name. If not, something else. But you can just search up Canon in D, and the thumbnail is a girl on piano and a guy on cello. It is probably my favorite cover that I've listened to of any song ever. Favorite cover of any song ever. And I love it so dearly. That cover of Canon in D. And if you don't know Canon in D, it's the main part. My favorite part is ba ba da dum ba da dum ba da 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 dum ba da dum ba da dum ba da 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 dum ba da da dum ba da da, something like that. And I love it so dearly. And I apologize, I have to turn on my fan. It is getting hot in here. And it's not just me. It might just be just me, but it's not. I hope this background noise isn't too much. There's a decent chance you won't hear it. There's a decent chance you will hear it. So just listen to my lovely voice as I cool down for just a minute or two. Hopefully less. Probably not less. Right, this is Ja, right? Yeah, it is. Oh, yes, I do have to, is whine the right word? Be sad. I think I've mentioned this before. I'm a fan of basketball, and my favorite team is the Boston Celtics. And this past few months have not been the best for the Celtics, but I want to talk specifically about free agency. Free agency has not been fun for Celtics fans like me, because we have to part our ways with such incredible players, and I, along with many other people, might be mildly parasocial to them. I miss Drew Holiday, and it's not like he's gone. He's just in Portland. I can still support him. I can still be his fan. He's just playing in Portland now, unless they move him. But I don't think they're going to move him. But I have no idea, honestly. But I miss him. Al Horford. I miss him. He's amazing. He's considering retirement or the Warriors or whatever. And he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He has the NBA just longevity. Decently high peak for an NBA player. Not comparable to like LeBron James, but significantly better than a role player. He has an all-star appearance. I think, was he all-NBA? I don't know. He's pretty decently accomplished for an NBA player. Not a star NBA player, but accomplished for a really good player. And then he, of course, has his college career. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. And he has built such a reputation in Boston. And no matter what he does, Boston will really miss him. And Luke Cornett, he's someone who just climbed his way into my heart last year. The dogness of him. Where my dog's at and just barking. He just brought a nice chaotic energy. But San Antonio just paid him a lot of money. And if you get paid a lot of money, you gotta take it. I remember this was years ago, but people saying win the Boston Celtics fans saying win the in-season tournament so Luke Cornett can pay his mortgage on his house. Unfortunately, the Boston Celtics did not win the in-season tournament. But I think Luke Cornett can afford a mortgage now. Granted, I think he's going to sell his house because he's, bound for Texas now, which has no income tax, which is amazing for him. It is simply amazing for him. I just wish him all the good luck. Part of me is very sad, though. Very sad indeed. But get your bag, King. You deserve it. I mean, if I had the opportunity to play with Victor Wembanyama and make $10 million a year, my contract be for 4 years, $10 million each of those years, and 2 of it being guaranteed, so I'm making at least 20 whatever million, and the third year being partially guaranteed for, I think, 3 million or something like that. So basically, I have a guaranteed 24 million, and I get to play basketball, and it's with one of probably the best young player in the league. I'd be a very happy person. Like, he's living the dream. Good for him. But also, he will be dearly missed, and Boston will dearly miss him. But he's going to have a really nice time in Texas, and the people of San Antonio are going to love him. And the good fans of San Antonio will love him. Because Luke Cornett deserves to be loved. And Drew Holiday deserves to be loved. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford. They all deserve to be loved. They're just great people. Speaking of great people, I don't know why. Marcus Smart, he's probably one of my favorite players in the league. I think he got injured and he hasn't really been the same since. Like, he hasn't been as good as he was in Boston since he was in Boston. But he was the heart and soul of the Celtics. And I miss him on the Celtics. I want to see him back in the Celtics. I believe, where is he now? Washington, D.C.? Which, Washington, D.C. is probably my second favorite city in America. Because I really like it. I feel it's really walkable. I think it's just a beautiful city. I love the museums. I love the art. I love the everything. That's just readily available. It's just a fantastic city. I highly recommend visiting there. Because my experience from what I got visiting there was a day I went there on a whim. They even had a farmer's market. In Washington, D.C., they had a farmer's market that I stumbled upon. Which is ridiculous. A farmer's market in the middle of a city on a random day. It was a really good farmer's market too. I think, what did I eat? I had some food there and it was good. It was pizza. That might be my... Farmers markets have turned more into like artisanal goods rather than just farm produce. But as an enthusiast of both, not too upset. Also, there was farmers goods there. Like, there was a huge pear salesman. Like, there's this giant booth with pears and pear paraphernalia. Say that 3 times fast. Pear paraphernalia, pear paraphernalia, pear paraphernalia. Oh, wow. But yes, there was this giant booth in like the middle of the farmer's market of just pears and like pear, how do I say this? Pears. Pear slicer. Is that what it was? Yes, it sliced the pear. I assume that's what a pear slicer would call. And I don't know. Ooh, kill hour. If you get 90% right, you should be learning words. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry. I just saw your message. But yes. Thank you. That's very encouraging. I'm very nervous about it. I'm very nervous about learning the words. But if I can get 90% of it. Huh. Well, thank you. I appreciate your message. And yeah, I think I'm getting around 90 whatever percent. What percentage is this? Got 9 wrong, about 150. That's like 93%, if I had to guess. It looks like 93%. Not that it is 93%, but it looks like 93%. So yeah. Yeah! Yeah! Okay, with that newfound confidence, let us continue. I'm sorry, I took a little break mentally. Well, let me get some water and let me put it in PYA. Every time I hype myself up, I'm gone for failure. Honest advice, every step of the way, I was nervous about progressing and held me back a lot. Thank you. I appreciate it. So you learned a language, huh? And this is your advice. Good to know. I am nervous, but I'm also having a lot of fun. I find it really enjoyable. But unfortunately, I do make my boneheaded mistakes every now and again. My boneheaded mistakes. But we can progress. I mean, I only did get 10 wrong. And 157 guesses. That's not bad. It's 92-ish, 91. But yeah. Every step of the way. Huh. Yeah. Well, the only way up is forward, or whatever the saying is. So let us continue. Chi to ji to ja. And this is... It's not ku, it's K. Yes, lovely. I'm listening to you while I practice writing. Nice. I'm nervous about practice writing, which, you know, I guess that relates to you too. You said you were nervous about every way, but yeah. I hope your writing is going well. My learning of the characters is going well as well. Are you also studying Japanese, or are you different language? Are you... Because there's a lot of wonderful languages out there. There is so many. I think, yeah, in the future I want to learn more languages. Yeah, I don't know how many I want to learn, but I want to be maybe I want to be able to say I'm a polyglot, be able to speak some languages. Speak some wonderful languages. Lovely. Right, Joe. J-O. And Cho? Or Ch... It's Cho. Yes, it's Cho. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Pia, P-Y-A. Ro. And a wonderful little me. This is Pa, P-A. I'm sorry, I'm nervous now. But it's fun. It is very fun. Ooh, this one I remember. Or do I remember? Is it... My guess is Ru. It is Ru. Lovely. I've been studying Japanese on and off for about 4 years now, and finally starting to really force myself to do scary things like video calls. Really? Wow, that does sound really scary. Video calls with teachers. Oh my. But 4 years, congratulations. 4 years to dedicate yourself to this. That's very impressive. I hope I can match that. Well, match is a strong word. I hope I can emulate that. 4 years, wow. That's really impressive. And video calls with teachers? Conversational level. That's really impressive. Oh my. That's the goal, but I'm not sure if I'll ever achieve it, but I'm having a lot of fun with the first steps to work towards that. I don't know if I can safely say I'm working towards that, but these are, at the very least, the first steps in that process. And, wow. Just congratulations. That is amazing. 4 years. That's, wow. That's really impressive. 4 years. I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied. Oh no, I can't read kanji, but Rena. I'm sorry, I cannot read kanji yet, but I believe that's Rena at the end. So nice. Nice. Oh, tongue tied. I apologize. Right. This is Kirigi. Lovely. But yes, I do want. I need to look. I know, like, what I know. I know. I think like 4 or 5 kanji right now, and 3 of them are 1, 2, and 3. Which, you know, simple enough, but or ichini and san, which is probably the easiest 3 kanji. Oh, gambare ne means good luck and work hard. Well, gambare ne to you as well. Gambare ne. To both of our futures in our studying. Gambare ne. Gambare ne. I need to work on my pronunciation as well. I'm tripping over my English words too. Gambare ne. Gambare ne. I'm sorry, I'm flubbing. Gambare ne. Gambare ne. Oh, that's ne, not new. Oh my gosh, I misread it. Wow. But yes, work hard and have fun. And good luck as well. I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. I will work hard. Q. New. Alright. We're getting somewhere. Lovely. Yo. Ni. R-Y-U. And this, I believe, is re? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh my. Alright. A little nervous, but a little confident at the same time. This is... I've never felt these 2 feelings at the same time. That's... Have I? No, I have done presentations before where I was very nervous, but also very locked in and very engaged and very confident. I remember I was... I had a public speaking class. Well, not a class. It was a lecture in public speaking in one of my classes. And to learn our lesson, we had to... How do I say this? Public speak about a topic of our choice. Without preparing anything. Right there and then. We had to just public speak about some random topic that we choose from. And I was in the middle of the class. And we were just going one by one. And we had no preparation time. And I was very, very shaky, very nervous. And I was really getting into basketball at the time, so I wanted to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo, who I believe, was it recently won MVP? Yeah, that was the 2019-ish year. I was really getting into basketball at the time, and I wanted to talk about him because I could not think about anything else at that time. However, I did kind of forget everything we were supposed to learn in that public speaking lesson. So instead of being calm, cool, collected, and level-headed, I just... With the combination of my nervousness and my, how do you say, excitement and confidence, instead of being calm and focused and considerate of the audience, I was loud and brash, as if I was putting on a show rather than educating people on a topic. And I used everything in my arsenal. And it was a very engaging presentation, I will say. I used a loud voice, changing tones, going from loud to very, very loud. I wove my hands around to exaggerate things, and I even walked outside of the classroom because of all this pent-up energy and enthusiasm, just to like prove a point that he takes really big steps. Yeah. They weren't calling him the run and dunk man for nothing. But yes, that was a very fun presentation I did. A very fun one, despite everything. But nervousness and excitement, yeah, I guess that was the last time I felt it. It's 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 exhilarating. It is relatively exhilarating. Oh my. Have I ever been nervous and excited while watching a show? I don't think I've ever been on the edge of my seat in that sort of way. Well, actually, no, I probably have. I just don't recall being on that edge of a seat, combination of nervousness and excitement while watching a television show. Maybe when I was a child and wasn't aware of like story structures. For instance, probably maybe in a Batman Beyond episode when Batman was losing the fight or something, and it was maybe deep like that. Maybe I was on the edge of the couch, leaning forward, nervous for what Batman was going to come. Is he going to finally lose? But also just excited to see, how do I say this? Excited to see if he will come up, if he'll be brave, if he'll come back. But of course, that was before I learned that those TV shows, the good guy wins, the bad guy loses. A children's TV show, that is always what happens, save for maybe a two-parter episode, in which case part one, good guy could lose. Doing this in public is really more confidence than I have. I don't think so. Well, I don't think so. Or maybe it's just the nerves covering it up. That was just one public speaking course in English. That was just, native language. And I didn't even have to speak well. I would just talk loudly. I didn't even have to control my voice because I was waving my arms around like a crazy person. But it was entertaining. It was definitely entertaining. And I think I conveyed my point in a comical way, in a way that was definitely not conductive of what I learned in the past 30 minutes to 50 minutes to whatever, how long that class was. It was like I learned nothing and everything at the same time. And the nerves. But you have the confidence to talk to a teacher over the phone about it. That's more confidence than I have. I'm very afraid of the phone. I'm very afraid of phone calls. Because there's a difference between talking to someone in person, doing something in person, versus doing something over the phone. And for some reason, I feel safer doing it in person than over the phone. And I don't know why. It's just the nerves that build up. So I think you have more confidence than I do. I truly think that. Because you seem very much well-versed at the very least. And you seem confident in what you know. And you seem confident in the steps you want to take. And you have a great plan for it. And that's just wonderful. That's just amazing. That's just amazing. And here I am, trying to remember if this is coup or goo, because I don't see the dots on the top. It's gay. Of course it's gay, because it has that little line on the side. I should have remembered that. Let's go. I'm shaking. I am shaking a little bit. But nervousness and excitement. Those are two very, very prominent feelings I currently have. Two very prominent things dominating my heart. Or my brain, I suppose. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Wow, I'm sorry I'm laughing so much. I laugh and I smile because of how nervous and excited I am. So do forgive me. But this is just really fun. Oh my. Oh my, indeed. I mispressed the key on that. I was trying to press shoe, but I accidentally pressed shoe on accident. Oh my. But I didn't have any fat finger mistakes, I'll call them today. No flubbing over my keyboard. Not yet, at least. Not yet, at least. I've just been flying with it. I've just been going with the vibe. Going with the vibe. And the lack of just accidentally pressing the wrong button. Just having, even in this nervousness, pressing the right buttons at the right time. That's great. That's something I'm not appreciating enough. This is just going really smoothly. Yes, I'm making mistakes. Who doesn't? But this is just going really smoothly. Right. This is Pew. PYU. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Oh, it's Hugh. I need to not forget that. I need to remember that. Right. Okay, lovely, lovely. Ho to bo to po. Breathe in. And it's te. T-E, followed by H-E, followed by M-U. Okay, I need to look at Mo and Moo again. Because I remember getting it right the last time. Mo looks like... Okay, that does look like a Mo. And Moo... Okay, Moo has a little loop. And this does not have a loop. This is the kana for... okay, the kana for Mo looks like the... No, sorry, the Hiragana Katakana for Mo looks like the Hiragana for Mo. And I need to remember that. Or I will remember that, I should say. Yes. I have that confidence. I'm shaking less. The confidence is overpowering the nervousness right now. And that is lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, maybe it's not overpowering. It's about equally powered. And my heart is racing. But this feels like... Is this what people feel like when gambling? That's a terrible comparison to make. Well, speaking of gambling, I've been hearing a bit of strides of that new gacha game, Uma Musume. Was it Pretty Derby? That's been making quite the splash that most games of that nature haven't. I think the last big gacha in general game to make that big of a splash was probably, I'd say, Genshin in terms of watchability. I hear it's good. I downloaded it yesterday, actually, but I haven't had a chance to actually test it out enough to see if it's good or not. I just went through the basic tutorial and I did some polls, and I can't report anything of note yet, and I haven't consumed any streams. Oh, hello there, Drago Boy Leke. Hi, bro. Hi, bro. How are you doing? Let's see. This is Hootable. But yes, Uma Musume. That's interesting. I haven't been following Uma Musume for a while. I haven't seen it, but I do recall that it is popular. I recall what it is vaguely, and I've seen clips of it. And from the clips, it is one of the better animated sports animes out there. Not the mobile game. The mobile game seems pretty decently. How do I say this? Decently well done, at the very least. I'd say it's pretty good. You're fine, bro? That is wonderful. I'm fine. We're all fine, and we're all having a good time. Lovely. Lovely. And I almost put who instead of poo. But yes, lovely. But yes, I've seen clips of Uma Musume. Specifically some of the racing. Oh, you subscribed to my channel? Awesome. Thank you. It's much appreciated. Never have to if you don't want to, but it's always appreciated if you do. But yes, that horse girl racing game. Oh, sorry, the horse girl racing anime. That is... I've seen clips of it. I'm a fan of the show Blue Lock, as maybe you can see from the thumbnail if you're watching this on YouTube. But when Blue Lock Season 2 was out, and midway through the season, when the animation was not that good, I saw a clip from Uma Musume, and it was incredibly well animated. And it just the juxtaposition of sports animes like that really just put me for a loop. To see one that was incredibly popular and not one, versus one that is decently popular. I believe Uma-sama has a pretty big following. I know horse racing in Japan is pretty big. In general, hence the show. But yeah, it was. I know there's a decent following to it. And that animation was insane. Where I'm from? I'm from Northeast America. Big East Coast kind of guy. And I love it. I love the apples. Because we have some good apples in the fall. Which I'm looking forward to in a few months. I think I might want to go apple picking actually in a few months. Oh, hearts! Lovely! Thank you! But yes, apple picking. Yeah, I haven't been apple picking in such a long time, but I remember going north to family, and then I'd go apple picking with them. And yeah, I'm from like how do I say this? Like around, what's a good location for it to say? Like New Jersey, New York area. I'd say probably where I'm closer to. Not near the city though. But yes, good old U.S. of A, the Eastern Coast, in that little region. You want to learn Japanese? Me too. And this is the first steps I have for that. This learning the hiragana, the katakana, the kana. I hear this is good. This is what the Learn Japanese subreddit has recommended in their user guide, so I'm following it. I am following it, and I'm hoping that it works. I'm putting the time, putting in the effort. Or I think I am putting in the time and putting the effort. I could always put in more time and effort, actually, now that I think it aloud. Which I probably am going to do, but for learning kana, this is nice. You are from South India? Oh, nice! Wow. The world is a huge place. I don't really have much perspective on it. I don't think I've ever left North America. Farthest I've been was Canada. Which is a beautiful country. I love Canada. It's great. But yes. But South India. Nice. Yeah, I need to be more well versed in the world. There's so many beautiful countries and so much to see. And I think I'm getting in touch with my see nature, see other parts of the world, see experiences. Which is kind of why I want to pick apples again after such a long time. But yeah, I remember I went to a state park recently. By recently, I mean, actually no, it was fairly recent. Yeah. I went to a state park, and it's really nice to see that. I'm unfortunately surrounded by like a suburban area, so I lack the beauties of a city, but also lack the beauties of something more rural, like a lot of trees and mountains and hills and whatnot. Thumbs up? Thank you. Love the thumbs up. Love the little heart. Much appreciated. But yes, I really do love the nature. I love seeing new things. I love seeing beautiful places and cities. And how do I say this? When I was out at that state park, just walking, breathing the fresh air, everything. I do love nature. I just really do love nature and love being out. But then there's also beauty of cities. I mentioned Washington, D.C. earlier. It's my second favorite U.S. city. My favorite is New York because I have family around there, and I've been there the most because of that. But Washington, D.C. is very beautiful, very walkable, and it's everything I want in a city. Of course, there's so much more cities to see and learn and grow from. Like, Toronto was also beautiful. I did love Toronto when I visited. Oh, Niagara Falls. Bro, send me your Instagram ID. I don't have Instagram. I have very little social media. I mainly have, I have this YouTube, I have, Twitch, I have what is it called? X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it now, which I don't even know how to use yet. And I have Blue Sky. And I haven't been active on Blue Sky in a while. I need to post on Blue Sky. I need to post on Twitter. I need to learn how to use Twitter. Yeah, I know it's strange. It's quite strange. Content creator who does not know how to create content. But yeah, it's fun though. Well, I can't say it's fun. I'm not talking about Twitter. Twitter, it's a beast that I'm not sure if I want to learn how to use, but I think I have to learn how to use. Blue Sky is fun though when I post it on there. It seems pretty intuitive. Twitter is marginally less intuitive. Only marginally though. I will follow. Oh, nice. Thank you. I think the links are for... Are they on my channel? I believe they're on my channel. On the channel banner. But yeah, thank you. Much appreciated. Right. This is lovely. Okay. I understand what I'm doing. Nice. That's lovely. Kirigirigu. Gyu. It's Jew. It's chi, not ki. That's my folly. That is my folly. Right. Lovely. Lovely. This is Ku or K? It's Ku. Yes, it is. Lovely. Lovely. I accidentally pressed A twice. If that's my, what is it, fat finger flub? That's my fat finger flub. I haven't had many of those today, where I accidentally press a second thing on the keyboard. Haven't had many of those. So that's good. That is good. Moo. Okay. I took a second. I had to recall what that was. I will be your first follower? Awesome. Thank you. That's amazing. Thank you. Toe-to-dough. Yes, toe-to-dough. And you. Awesome. Wow, I'm feeling very energized right now. H-Y-O-M-Y-O. Mew. Sorry, Myo. I spelled it correctly. I didn't say it correctly. Ta-da-da. Lovely. C-H-U. He to pe, be to pe, P-E. This is new. This is new. It's nay. It's nay. It's not new. It's nay. Lovely. Oh my. Oh my. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And this is Sha, I believe. I need to learn the angle of those little dashes on Sha to understand what I'm doing. H-Y-A. Lovely. Awesome. And this is Pew. P-Y-U. Okay, I know what I'm doing somehow. That's just really nice. This is my Instagram ID link. Oh, cool. Nice. He to be, B-E, nu, and ju, J-U. Okay, I know what I'm doing. That's surprising. But a welcome surprise. I am a bit rusty. I have 600 Wanikani reviews to do because I let them pile up. Oh no. Gambarene. I have faith in you. Good luck. Work hard. Gambarene. You have my condolences. Right. Ja. J-A. Two. Lovely. Okay. Ku. No, it's K. Yeah, it's K. Lol. Yeah. But, you know, I have faith in you. You got this. You have this in the bag. H-Y-O. Lovely. Who to boo? What is this? Cho. T-H-O. O. And then a lovely little N-Y. N-Y? It's nya. Of course it's nya. That's silly. That is silly. At least one of us does. Nah, you got this. You got this. Ma, o, he, se, tze, karaga. This is... What is this? Off the top... Wait, no, I got this. This is... Gu. G-U. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. I made that mistake before. I remember making that mistake before. I did not make it again. I did not make that again. But yes, good luck with your studying. Gambare ne. Yeah, my pronunciation, I think, got better. I think. Yeah, I feel less nervous. Yes, the confidence is overwhelming the nervousness. That is amazing. That is lovely. And this is also lovely. This Ja, J-A. And this, I messed up on you before, but you are Sue. Well, actually, technically, I messed up on Zoo, didn't I? Actually, I probably messed up on both. Yeah. I probably did mess up on both. But it doesn't matter. Ba-chi. You know, I still recall... I was a huge fan of Orb on the Spirit... it's not the Spirit, on the Movements of the Earth. Where I still recall that show. You have an exam, bro. See you. Good luck on your exam. I hope you do well on it. I hope you absolutely ace it. I believe in you. I believe in you. Right. Let's see. What was it? Oh yes, Orb on the Movements of the Earth. I really love that show. Really recall it, and I sometimes just recall my memories of it. I need to make... If you haven't seen Orb, it's anime about heliocentrism and thamazane, the human desire to innovate, do just for the sake of doing. And as someone who strangely enjoys mathematics, I understand that concept. And I think it's just a really well-written show. So that's why I gush over it, and that's why I've been gushing over it for a while. And it ended a while ago, but it feels really good. Thanks, see you tomorrow. I will see you another day. Have a great day, and have a wonderful test, a wonderful study session, wonderful sleep. Heard about the show? It's on my backlog. I gush over it, so I recommend it, but that's just because I really fell in love with it. If you want a more neutral opinion, I apologize. I can't be the one to give it to you. But I really did enjoy it quite a bit. And I don't see much merchandise about it. But I think one day I want to create the necklace that the main character had. Or I won't say any more about that, but the necklace that they had. The little wooden ball with 3 dots. Oh, appreciate the hearts, Dragon Boy Leke. Appreciate the hearts. But yes, I want to maybe recreate that necklace one day. I would want to buy it, but I don't think a lot of places are selling it. It's a really... I like having memorabilia of things I really enjoy. I just like looking and feeling that nostalgia and memories. And if I can't buy it, I can try to make it. And I'll find a way. I could also try to 3D print it as well. It's a very simple thing as well. It's just a little orb with 3 dots on it to represent Orion's belt. It's a very simple thing. And then a nice little like twine necklace, not necklace, but rope to tie around your neck. To hold it as if like it was a chain or whatever. It seems like it should be very simple to make. So I'm not opposed to making it. I hear a lot of people... I sometimes hear posts of people asking about where they can maybe find some, and I think some people recommend maybe not a seller on Etsy, but a custom order from someone on Etsy, because I don't think there's someone specifically selling them on Etsy. But if I wanted to do that, I think I would want to not carve it out of wood, carve like an orb out of wood, and then put some those 3 dots on it, and then like maybe polish it with a nice oil or something. I want some form, well, I would like to make that. That's probably the most recognizable form of memorabilia about the show, I'd say. So I greedily want it, or to create something like it. Wait, this is you. Is this you? This is you. Yes, it is you. Lovely. Lovely. I get confused for a second. But that's a plan for the future. Well, the basis of a plan. I still need the steps of how I'm actually going to do it. What wood should I use? How do I make the holes? How do I polish it to make sure it stays nice? What twine to use for the chain of the necklace? And how to blah 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 it up. But it's something for the future. And because I'm actually living up to my promises that I've made to myself, to my resolutions, my mid-year resolutions, because I'm actually living up to them, I feel that there's some hope in that. I feel some hope in actually creating that, even if I have no idea where to begin. And I do have absolutely no idea where to begin. But I have faith. I have faith. I have hope. And that's what I believe in. That's what I have. I have hope, and I have the internet, where I can learn things. There's gonna be some really obscure video with like maybe 20 views on Woodcutter 163's channel, where they describe how to make a ball out of wood and polish it. And then over on Dot Maker by Candlelight, they'll have a video on how to put dots on wood. Or whatever these found channels are. They'll have these videos, and if you watch enough of them, you'll be able to piece by piece what you can do. So I really am glad that we live in this age of information, even if everything's just click on me, let me spend your time, let me mine cryptocurrency on your computer while you read or play me. In this age, I really am glad we are able to just have such a library of information at our fingertips. But also with this, also with Kana, this site, a library of information at my fingertips. It's wonderful. And I don't appreciate it enough, I don't think. Being able to have basically any knowledge of anything at just a Google search away. That's something I don't appreciate enough. Because when I was a child, my parents would talk about how they would actually have to go to the library and pull up an encyclopedia to do a project. They have not mentioned that, probably, well, easily in over a decade. They've not mentioned that. A bunch of Japanese channels where people make versions of things, they're in the narrated subtitle. Oh, nice! Use them to practice reading low. Nice! Yeah, I remember when pounding, what is it called? Like aluminum foil into a nice little ball was popular, and then they'd polish it. I think that fad was started by a bunch of the Japanese channels. I remember that was what was referenced when people were commenting on that. Where like people walking their dogs or going to the store. Oh. Oh wow, that is good practice. Like subtitle videos of that. Good reading practice, good listening practice too. Huh. Yeah. That is good practice. To have that sort of content. Just casual everyday content. Because those are probably the more words and phrases you'll be more familiar with. Well, maybe not the Japanese word for aluminum ball. You probably won't need that if they're making something like that. But for, like, today I walked to X place and Y place and Z place and whatnot. That definitely is more commonly used in conversation. And it's a good way to memorize hearing, memorize speaking, tone. Yeah. That is good. I will make a mental note of that in the future for when I'm ready. Yeah. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, and lovely. This is zoo. I made that mistake once or twice before, but I got it last time, and now I can finally get it right this time as well. Because it's zoo this time, not Sue. But yeah. But crafts channels. Oh. Unfortunately, thinking of craft channels makes me think of 5-Minute Crafts, the channel known for not for being unhinged, I suppose, in like a DIY situation. I sometimes see clips of videos like that, DIY, like WHY, like why would you do this? And it's, when I watch them, they're painful to watch, but they're more painful to look away from. And I guess it does their job of holding my attention. But, oh, I actually know something better than that, because I remember watching wood turning, is that the phrase? Where people would find like wood in nature, like maybe a log or a straight branch or something, like a thick or root or something. They would put it on like a lathe, like one of those machines that spins really, really quickly. And they would like maybe like carve it with certain like knives and such to like trim it into bowls and sticks and balls of something, and they'd use resin, and it was quite beautiful art. It was amazing art, those lathe channels. Those just making like these pieces of art, these usable pieces of art too. I remember, did they make a spoon? No, they didn't make a spoon from the lathe. Or did they? No, they didn't. Yeah, carving the end of the spoon would be difficult on the lathe. On something else it might be. I believe it's a lathe. You got sucked down the carved bowl rabbit hole before? Oh wow, you know what I'm talking about then. They were very beautiful bowls though, I will say. Those bowls were very beautiful. As someone who owns like just whatever ceramic bowl, those beautiful wooden bowls of polished wood and resin that are just very nicely themed. Oh man, they're beautiful. But yes, I got sucked down that rabbit hole a while ago. Every now and again, a rabbit hole just randomly pops up and takes me down. What was the last rabbit hole I got sucked down into? Actually, I can check my YouTube feed. What's the last rabbit hole? Let me pull up YouTube on this and try to see. What's that rabbit hole? Going through. Or does anything pop up, or is it... is this... I'm not sure if it's a rabbit hole, but it's like, no, I wouldn't say that's a rabbit hole. I'd say, well, I guess it ties in with fads. I know, the game Rematch has been insanely popular. And I've been, a reason why it's popular, I've been definitely sucked into, like, Northern Lions, videos about it. It's very entertaining. It is very entertaining. And every so often, some game will pop up, like Uma Musume earlier, like I was mentioning. That popped off recently. Again, with Northern Lion was one of the bigger English channels to start playing it. I know Premiere 2 also is credited with popularizing it among English speaking streamers. But let's see. Anything else that's big that rabbit hole I follow? Not in a while. Okay, I haven't gone down rabbit holes in a while. At least I don't think so. Maybe it's hidden underneath everything, which it could be. It very well could be. Technically, it's the conversation. The conversation is nice, but it's also, I think the ASMR is nice too. I remember for the word turning videos specifically, I think there was, I forget if it was the conversation or ASMR of it, or I think it was both. But I think you would hear like it like grind against the little knife I was spinning on the lathe as it was carved into a bowl, and it was a very nice experience to listen to. But yes, oh my, those things are nice. I love the ASMR, but also the conversations were nice. Oh yeah, that reminds me of the I hate these, but I sometimes listen to them because they're everywhere on YouTube Shorts. But like the Reddit's AITA threads, those like threads of "Am I in the wrong?" blah blah blah, or the whatever Reddit thread or comment there is, will be posted there with an AI voice while like Subway Surfers or something is playing. And I always try not to watch those because I don't think there's much value in that content. From a viewer's perspective, I don't think there's much value, but even I have to admit, it's hard to look away from that. It's hard to look away from those. It's just spilling the tea. It's very low effort content. It's not transformative. It's not anything at all. And granted, I don't have much to speak on. I'm just streaming Japanese kana, which isn't high effort content, but the Reddit threads are not very well, the AI text to speech Reddit threads with X amount of content, they're just view farms. They're just farming views. And the one thing I hate, and this is not just about those with the Subway Surfer playing, but also on ads, is the rage bait to keep you watching, where the ads will intentionally play their game poorly. They will choose an intentionally suboptimal strategy because it is more painful to watch that, but you can't click away because you would do better, or something like that. That rage bait to get you to keep watching or even download the game, that is so painfully smart. And I hate that so much. Because every time that happens, I see it, and it hurts. It just hurts. It just really hurts to watch. It really just... It's a pain. It is. Because they pulled the wrong little stick out, and now the king's on fire instead of getting the gold. And it's very easy to see which stick is correct. A child could do it. Granted, I suppose that it is targeted at children and whoever is watching, which is a bit painful. Is a bit painful. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm going to get water. I'm going to get water. I will be right back. Enjoy the background music. I was muted for a second. But yes, targeted people with money and no self-control. Hate those two, yes. But, what was I saying? What was my thought? I had a thought. Oh no, did I lose my thought? I lost my thought. Did I seriously lose my thought? Oh, no, I remember, yeah, I was saying that there were never, like, actually those games when you click on them. When you click on them, they're never actually those games. They're always something else, like maybe a worse version of Candy Crush. However, I remember seeing, what, I forget what the name of the, like, games, yeah, those games, those actually, like, the mobile games, someone recreated them, bundled them together, and put them on, like, Steam or whatever. Like, actual, like, the games you would see on mobile ads, what the actual gameplay would be like if they were like the ad. Because ads are never the same as the game, or rarely are the same. Of course, you have things like Raid Shadow Legends, or something like that, where the gameplay doesn't really exist. I hear, actually, I watched a video on it once, where someone actually played Raid Shadow Legends and reviewed it. And I believe it was, the game plays itself at a certain point, and you can spend money to make it faster or whatever. But yeah, it was, quite the, how do I say this? Quite the expected thing, I suppose. Because I don't think you can expect to play Raid Shadow Legends and, have a good time. Well, how does Raid Shadow Legends make so much money? Well, I guess I know how. I assume 99.9% of people won't download Raid Shadow Legends until they see the game. And on top of that, of the ones who do download it, 99.9% of people won't spend money on it. And of those who do spend money on it, probably 90% of them won't spend a ton of money. Maybe like $5 on the game. Like, oh, this is boring. Be done with it. But the remaining, whatever percentage of that is, they are just, they can be whales. I believe that's the term for them. They can spend thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars on games. And I believe that's why mobile games are the most lucrative form of games, like beating console and PC. Mobile games make a ton of money. Well, granted, everyone has a phone in their pockets nowadays. Everyone can just pull out their phone, like click on Raid Shadow Legends, do something for 5 minutes, and then turn it off because it's boring, and then repeat on process. We have the ability to do that in this day and age. But yeah, it's just, is it sad? I don't know if it's sad. I wouldn't say it's sad that mobile games are the most lucrative form of video, or the most money-generating form of video games. I won't say it's sad because there's obviously reasons for it, and it's more accessible to everyone. But I would think, is whaling sad? Can I say that? Was that? No, I won't say that. I won't say whaling is sad in itself, but whaling can become sad if you are addicted to spending money on a game, which some people are. And it's not just with mobile games too. I mentioned earlier I was a fan of basketball, and this is quite shameful. I was also a fan of playing the game NBA 2K. I didn't buy the game every year because, of course, it was the same game basically every year, which I hated that about. But I'm aware of the community. And of that community, of the NBA 2K community, some people are what you'd call whales. And it's not akin to NBA 2K. It's not solely NBA 2K. It's other games. Like here, FIFA, or FC 24 is also really bad. But my experience is with 2K, so I'll elaborate on that. It's, to be playable in this game, to have your character be playable in this game, I think in the past years you would need to spend, like, in addition to buying the $70 game, I think you need to spend at least $100 to make your character playable. Like, online. Obviously, you can grind for that virtual currency for the VC, but they made grinding so hard to level up, to get VC. It's so hard. And instead, you can just buy VC, and a lot of people do. But on top of that, to get clothes, to max out your player, you're probably looking at an additional like $200, whatever, $200, maybe $300 on top of buying the $70 game. And I'm just going to drive home that the game is $70 when it has made very little adjustments over the years in general. Because I feel like I need to specify that just in case you aren't familiar with it. But that isn't even the worst game mode in terms of money. No. Also, I will say, sorry, going back to that, each year they make grinding harder. They make you get less VC. They make the in-game boons, like maybe you'll sign a contract. They make that worth less each year. To the point where signing a contract with Nike gets you less money than what it would cost to buy a single pair of Nike shoes in the game with the game currency. It's something like that, which is ridiculous. But anyway, that's not even their most lucrative mode. That's not even the most sad mode. And I'll call it sad because I'm familiar with the game and I'm familiar with the community. And I think this foundation of needing to spend $100 to use your player online sucks. I believe that. I think it's sad that people are deluded into thinking that's good. And it sucks that there's no alternative. Blah, blah, blah. There's a million things I can say. A million things I could feel pity for. But that's not even the worst. The worst is my team. My team is basically, you'll get cards of players that you can put on your team and play against people online. You'll get cards of players overall, blah, blah, blah. First thing, these cards aren't necessarily the most realistic. You can have like a Shaquille O'Neal card. Shaquille O'Neal is a NBA player, one of the greatest players of all time. He's known for dunking the basketball and for being bad at shooting the basketball. His jump shot is very bad. He was a terrible free throw shooter, and free throws are basically an unguarded attempt at a free point. They are free throws, free points, essentially. He was very bad at shooting those. He had a very bad shooting form, but he was huge and dominant inside, so he was known for dunking. In this My Team, you could give him a 99 three-pointer. 99 is the maximum value. And in that case, Shaquille O'Neal, this guy who cannot shoot a free throw, something that's close, can pull up from half court and drain threes. Or green threes, as the 2K community says. Shaquille O'Neal, big, strong guy who cannot shoot, can shoot threes from half court. It's an unrealistic game. In that, My Team is unrealistic. The other things are just badly calibrated, necessarily, not that great, but that's a different story. My Team is just built like that. It's very heavily pay to win. You pay to get better cards, or sorry, you pay to get chances at better cards. Because of course it's like a gotcha, it's a lottery. And chance at ever getting anything is just incredibly small. However, sorry about that. What was I saying? My Team, yes. You can buy these packs and hope to get and try to pull for your favorite player or pull for a good card. Oh, I'm flubbing up. I apologize. I'm mismatched on everything. But you can try to pull for your favorite card, and some people, to be at the best of this, you need to spend, I think, $5,000 is the minimum you need to spend to be competitive at like a top level of my league. And I hear that the best is a stretch. I'm putting air quotes up. Best of the best. You need to spend something like $50,000. And I hear rumblings that it's as bad for like FIFA or whatever you want to call it, Club FC. Like Club FC special teams or whatever their equivalent of My Team is, where you make your own team of fantasy guys and you pull cards. I hear it's that bad for that as well, or even worse. But it's just ridiculous. I mean, the good news is that most people who do these polls are streamers. They get revenue for doing the polls. People like seeing gambling, for better or for worse. Even if it's technically not gambling, it's essentially gambling, pulling cards like that. People are excited for that, and they make money from that. They make money from using the decks, blah, blah, blah. However, there are people who are just addicted to it. There are absolutely people who are just addicted to the gacha system of it, and it's just predatory in that nature, and they will spend thousands, tens of thousands of dollars trying to build their team, trying to get their good players. It's sad. It's just sad. I don't have much more to say. I dabbled in my team. I've never spent money on 2K in general. I actually, well, this is, I have a confession to make. I have no life video games before. I mentioned I've never spent money on 2K. However, 2K20 is a game that I own. 2K20 is a game that I have a lot of hours in. I'd say, last I checked, which was years ago, and I still play it to this day every now and again because I will refuse to buy a new 2K. Well, I bought 2K22, but that's a different story. I refuse to buy a new 2K. I probably have... When I checked years ago, I had, I believe, 700 hours in it, which isn't a lot for like someone who plays video games like super regularly. But I don't really play video games super regularly. I play casually. I'll pick up a game, play it so often, and get rid of it, especially when I'm done with the game usually. When the gameplay gets redundant or repetitive, like 2K should be, because it's just basketball. And I've gotten bored of 2K before, but I should just be able to toss in the towel and move on. But even so, in this version of 2K, or in 2K20, which is one of the better selling 2Ks, I had, at this moment in time, I probably have closer to 1,000 hours than 500. Well, I definitely have closer to 1,000 than 500. I'd probably estimate at 800 or 900. I'd say somewhere slightly below 900 in this game in the past. Has it been 5-6 years I've owned it? It came out in what, 2019? Did it come out in 2019? I believe it did. I don't remember, honestly. Yeah, I believe it came out in 2019. I think so. Yes. So I remember playing it. I played it for a while. I don't even know why we bought it in the first place, but I have played it a lot. And I put so many hours into it. I actually, in the My Player thing, which is basically your player trying to max out, like I mentioned with the VC, I actually maxed him out. Not even to 99, to 99.9, because it was 99.9 that year. With the, granted, 99 to 99.9, you fluctuate in between that. But I got my character, to 99.9, the top level, without spending $1 on the game. Because I grinded so hard. And I think that's the saddest fact about my video gaming career. Because that is something I don't really take pride in. Like, yes, I worked hard and I grind to it, but there was misery in it. And I also didn't make a meta build or anything. I made a build that I thought would be fun, which is fun, but you don't dominate the game. Oh, I also forgot to mention, the game is always, or usually always, just incredibly unbalanced. It's just always unbalanced. In a way that's not fun. Like, for instance, the meta in 2K20 was a 6'5" guard with playmaking and defense, because you could do everything pretty well. And the meta, if you were like really, really good, it was like a 6'9" center with all defense. And if you were a legend, to put badges on, because you could hit 3-pointers with like a 25 3-ball if you had the right badges, which is, again, like Shaq pulling up from half court. It's unrealistic, but that's just how the game works. And 2K players sometimes make it so unfun as to see which animations are meta. Like, which animations, like playing animations, are the best. For instance, in, I forget what year it was, but I remember, like, the Jason Kidd passing style, I believe, was broken one year, or was it the LeBron James passing style? I believe it was the LeBron James passing style, and people try to min-max everything to get those certain animations because they're just better than others. And it's just kind of... Do I say sad? From my perspective, it's sad. Oh, hello, Dragon Boy Leke. I'm talking about NBA 2K and my experience with it because... Why am I talking about it again? We were talking about mobile games a while ago. And how... Oh yeah, how predatory some gaming practices can be online. But yes, NBA 2K. It's one of the games of all time. And it's something I played... Not regrettably, but not pridefully. Not pridefully. Yeah, definitely not pridefully. Right, and this is Mya. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's see. What else do I have to do? 316? Decent. Alright. Let's go. This is he to be to bia. Lovely, lovely, lovely. This is ri to rya. R-Y-A. Okie dokie. Artichoke. And this is re to ru. R-U. I can understand for some reason. I don't know why. Hello, Raptor folk. Not sure when you put your message in, so I do apologize. Oh. But hello, everyone. I hope you are all wonderful. I hope you are all lovely. Right. This is ki to gi to gya. G-Y-A. Lovely. This is Mo or me? Wait. No, this is Moo or me. I believe... No, it's Moo. It's just Moo. Yes! Your favorite online games, bro? My favorite online games. That's a good question. I definitely cannot say 2K. 2K... I was more of a fan of the My Career mode rather than online. Was not a fan of that. I don't really play many like explicitly online games, though. I will say, the ones that come to, I have a confession. I was into Among Us pretty a good amount when it was popular. To the point where I memorized what tasks can be done in what order on what maps. I was there for when the airstrip dropped, and that was a doozy. I have some moments in my memory of that. It was definitely fun, but also I don't think I would go back to it. But other than Among Us, which I could talk about for days. Oh, actually, I do have one more thing to say about Among Us. I remember sometimes playing with friends, and we'd maybe josh around in public servers, and for that I'd say a mild apology. Only a mild apology because other people were doing it, but a mild apology for just messing around. I did troll a little bit, only on occasion. But other than that... Oh, you also played Among Us? Yeah. Do you agree that it was fun, or do you think it was just a thing of its time? I think there's merit to both, but I definitely had fun while playing. I know some people definitely just played because it was popular and view it more neutrally or even negatively. Can I join? Do I even have Among Us still installed? I don't even know if I have Among Us still installed on my computer. It's been that long. I might have removed it. I really don't know. Wow. Huh. But yeah, that was my career in Among Us. Fun. Oh, you found it fun too? Nice. Yeah, I think it was fun. I do think some people just played it because it was popular at the time, but I do think, at least in the time, it was fun. But outside of that, online browser games, I'd say, will probably be my next thing. Like, I'm somewhat into, it's been a long while, but Pokemon Showdown, where you would battle someone online with a random team of Pokemon. I think that I enjoyed that. I actually joined a Pokemon Showdown League. I made the playoffs and lost. You play? Oh. But yes, I actually made the playoffs of the league and then lost in the... I want to say first round. It might have been the second round of Pokemon Showdown. Because I was not that good. I'm very casual. I do love Pokemon. It's one of my more favorite video games of all time. And Pokemon Showdown is just battling random trainers online. It's fun. But I cannot say I'm good at it. And I cannot say I want to be this amazing level at it. But yeah, I'd say that. And then probably chess. I played a lot on chess.com. I think my big boom was like 2022 to 2024 was my peak years on that. I've waned since. Like, I play chess every so often. Like, I probably play maybe 3 online games a week now. Maybe around there. Actually, I can check. Let me go on chess.com and see what my little gameplay is. Not now, or not today, I should say. What does it say on my stats? Blah, blah, blah. Rapid. Can I just do past 7 days? Obviously nothing in rapid. I'm sorry. I do, not rapid. I do blitz. Blitz is what I normally do. Past 7 days. Oh, I played 8 games in the past 7 days. Oh, wow. That's more than I thought. I do not have a good record, though. Oh, my. Only 2 wins and 4 losses and 2 draws. That's... But my rating went up 8, so... I'll take it, I guess. But yeah, chess. I play it less... I thought I only played half as much, but I guess I do play it maybe once a day. Well, actually, I don't play once a day. I probably play 3 days a week, but I probably play a couple of games. I think I usually try to play until I win, and sometimes it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. But chess is very fun. Create a gaming video? I think I would like to try that. My computer can't really support a lot of games I have on Steam while even recording software. But on chess, I think I could at least do chess or Pokemon Showdown. I think it'll be fun. Konnichiwa. Oh, konnichiwa. Hello, hello, JR Iro or J-Riro. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. I am doing fantastic. But yeah, gaming videos, huh? Yeah, they are fun. I think I could have fun with it. I like videos to be a bit more, not just transformative. I don't want to just play the game. I want to accomplish something by playing the game. Whether it's maybe doing a challenge or something. That's normally how I view things in terms of... Well, that's how I want to view things in terms of content. Right now, my content doesn't have its footing down. But I think in the future, that's what Do you play Free Fire? No, I don't. I don't think I've heard of that game. Free Fire. Let me look it up. Free Fire. Oh, 8th anniversary. Survival Battle Royale on mobile. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Looks fun. Maybe I'll try it out. But, yeah, I'd never heard of it before it. But, yeah, 8th anniversary. Most games don't have that kind of level of support. I know sorry to go back to 2K, a game I am in a love-hate relationship with, but they shut down their servers for their games after 2 years just so you'll keep buying the new game, which is something I don't like, but yeah. So for a service to keep support up for 8 years must mean that there's a reason for it. Probably has a dedicated player base and a dedicated team of mods and whatnot. So that's impressive. That is impressive. Let's see. I do have some older games on my phone. I remember some of my friends got me to play like Fire Emblem Heroes. I think that's the mobile game for it. I've only played it for a little bit, but it was my first introduction to Fire Emblem. Well, maybe outside of Super Smash Bros. When I was a child, playing as Marth and Ike. But yes, that was probably my first real introduction to the world of Fire Emblem. It was fun, but oh man, I should play Fire Emblem games. I heard Three Houses was amazing when it came out, but I didn't own a Switch, so I didn't even bother looking at the game. But yeah, it's popular for a reason. It's like PUBG. Oh, nice. You know what? I have to be honest. As a child who owned the Call of Duty game, well, I didn't own the Call. I owned some Call of Duty game. I was terrible at shooters. I'm terrible at those sorts of games. Those battle royale games. I'm terrible at battle royale games. I'm terrible at FPS games. I don't know why. I'm just bad at it. I'm bad at I'm just bad. It's not even that I don't like them. It's just that I'm bad at them. Even third-person shooters, I'm bad at. I played Fortnite once. I was really bad at it, but I played 50v50, and I won, and I never played again, just so I could say I have a 100% win streak in Fortnite. But that's besides the point. I'm terrible at shooters. I am terrible. I remember seeing content of people playing shooters as well, and they're like, oh, they're over there, and they see them, and they shoot them, and they're like, I have no idea what you saw. I think it would be fun to learn to play, though. But I think whoever is teaching me, because I think it would have to be like some sort of maybe collaborative experience. Whoever teaches me, let's just hope they can milk me being bad. I can't read kanji, but Desuka, something Desuka. Let's see. I'm sorry, I can't read kanji yet, but Desuka. I'm just a nice English-speaking streamer who is terrible at first-person shooters and who likes or who wants to learn Japanese and other languages in the future. But right now, Japanese. We're looking on it. We're working on our katakana, our hiragana, and we are going to do our best. Right. This says, blah, blah, blah. Pyo, P-Y-O. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Chi to G to Jo, J-O. And this is the wonderful little Ge. Okay. We didn't mess up there. And I like that. I definitely like that. I was surprised with how well I was doing at the beginning of the stream. And I'm still surprised about how well I'm doing with this. I'm understanding. Understanding is amazing. Right. I think I'm going to get to maybe 400 correct. And then I'm probably going to end stream. Yes. But for now, let's try to work towards there. Show. Yeah. Let's see. What other old games do I have on my phone? Actually, I can just look on my phone. I have my phone up. I have my games tab. I'll see what I have. Oh, Clash Royale. That was fun. I got decently into Clash of Clans and then Clash Royale from that. That was a fun little adventure. I don't have much to say, though. I would consider myself good at the game compared to the average person. because I think I had a decent amount of trophies, but I'm not good at overall. And I think with how Clash Royale has progressed, it's been decades. I'd probably be bad now, just between my deck and my lack of skill. I'd probably be bad now. And let's see, anything else? Oh, I played those other random Pokemon games that would come out on iOS, like Pokemon Duel. Remember that? That was a strange one. Zero, hi. Hi, Zero. Hello. And yes. Wait, yes. Why am I saying yes? I don't know. But yes, Pokemon Showdown. That was an interesting take on Pokemon games. I remember it was sort of, you just have to maneuver your piece to your opponent's square. And it was fun. I had a blast with it. I had a good time. Oh, wait. I just had a wave of nostalgia of, what is it? 2013 baseball? Is that what it's called? Or is it 2013 baseball game iOS? Is that it? Baseball Superstars 2013. Oh my. I remember that. In high school, some of my friends played it. They got back into it. So I played it. I played that for over 30 seasons in game. Over 30 seasons of baseball action. Man, that's a wave of memory. I got really into it. And my guy was pretty stacked. Other guys were less good. Goo. But yes, my batter. The batting was fun. Pitching, I tried pitching. It was less fun. But the batting was really fun. The batting was really fun. I didn't beat the game, though. I didn't make it all the way to the top league, though. Even in 30 seasons. Because I was more focused on making my guy good and not spending money than winning. And, oh yes, I couldn't progress the story either. Because the story apparently existed. But you had to sign into the game center, which... And I think the support for that ended on iOS or something. I don't know. But I couldn't progress the story. Because there was this, like a subplot or something. I don't know why. Or I don't know what I should say. But yes, Baseball Superstars 2013. I played it around when it came out. I stopped playing it, and then back in high school, it became popular again. So I played it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Or became popular among my my friends and peers. That is a blast of memory. I'm not too huge a fan of baseball. I mean, I like baseball. Well, practice makes man perfect, bro. Practice does make man perfect. And I will practice. And I will not become perfect, but I'll try to become decently well-versed. And this is Ba. Ba, ba, ba. But yeah, baseball. I'm not too huge of a fan, but I enjoy baseball every now and again. I've seen some Major League games in person, some minor league games in person. They're fun. They are fun. I can't deny that. Well, the experience is fun. I prefer higher scoring ventures. Because I like it when offense happens. I think that's common in every sport. When offense happens, like when people score, that's exciting. Scoring something is more exciting than stopping something from scoring. Usually, sometimes there are obviously exceptions. But scoring is just an incredible feeling. So when you go to a baseball game and it ends like 2-0 after one home run in like the second inning and you stayed for 9 innings, which is something that's happened to me. I want to like who was playing? I think, was it a Giants and Diamondbacks game? Something like that. It was a long while ago. I don't remember. My favorite anime? Oh, that's a list. Let's see. The first one that comes to mind is ReZero. I really enjoyed ReZero. I'm a sucker for isekai, and ReZero is just a really well written. I love character development too, and ReZero has a lot of character development. I do love it. I think Subaru is a great character. I think Otto is a great. I just think the characters are incredibly fleshed out. I really like them. I like them. I like the story. I like the worlds. Everything's just really well thought out, I feel. And Subaru's growth as a character is just an inspiring story to get through. And obviously he takes some steps back, but every now and again. But progress isn't linear, or whatever saying there is. I'd probably say that. I was also a really big fan of... Oh, this is going to actually sound weird. Of Clannad and Fullmetal Alchemist. Not Clannad After Story and not Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, because I have not finished watching those. I should finish watching them, but I haven't, because I had to... When I was watching them, I had to like do something and I lost my place and blah, blah, blah. And I basically had to rewatch them both. But I really loved Fullmetal Alchemist, the original one, because it was one of my first ones. I really loved the alchemy and science. Oh, you love Dragon Ball? Yeah, Dragon Ball is hype. Dragon Ball is really hype. I remember as a kid, everyone was doing like the Kamehameha and the it's over 9,000. Oh man, that was amazing. That was fun. Dragon Ball was really hype. Unfortunately for me, it was on a television channel that my parents wouldn't let me watch after a certain time, I believe. I think it was it on that? Was it on? Oh no, it was usually on too late for me, because my parents didn't want me watching television too late. But yeah, Dragon Ball is fun. Dragon Ball is really fun. One Piece is good. Well, actually, the only, how do I say this? I should watch One Piece, or at least read it. The only content of One Piece I've consumed is the One Piece Red movie, which has amazing music. I love the Top Musica and Blacklight. Or is it Blacklight? Or what is it called? Those are my two favorite songs in the movie. But yeah, One Piece was something special. I should read the manga, though. It's very long, but it seems fun. And I remember all the hype around Gear 5 when that came out. When Gear 5 Luffy came out. There was hype everywhere. Even for someone who isn't like as invested or as caught up in the world of One Piece. But One Piece is just such a huge thing. It's such a huge IP. It's such a huge show, huge manga. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's just amazing. And I really did enjoy the One Piece Red movie. Is it One Piece Red? Yeah, it is One Piece Red. I believe that's what it was called. Even though I knew very little about One Piece, I was able to understand what was going on and enjoy it. What else? Did I also watch I'm trying to remember if I watched the Broly movie or not. Or the original... Was there 2 Broly movies for Dragon Ball? Was there 2 Broly movies? I forget. I think I watched the first one. Where Goku and Vegeta were fighting Broly. That was pretty hype as well. Dragon Ball does the art of hype really well, I have to say. Between just the power levels, the little aura that surrounds them when they go like Super Saiyan, or even when they're just charging up. I know there's the joke about the 5-minute spirit bomb lasting like 4 episodes or whatever. Like that timing is in like every show. What's the site you're practicing in? It is called gohoneko.neocities.org/learn kana. Actually, let me put it in the chat. Give me a moment. I seen Dragon Ball Super Broly. Yeah, I forget which one I see. I believe there's 2 Broly movies. I believe there's 2. I think I watched the first one. I don't know which one, but it was nice. It was good. I enjoyed it. And I think Dragon Ball does hype really well. But yes, that's the link in the chat if you want to see the site I was working on, I'm not working on, using. But yeah, Dragon Ball just is hype really well. Thanks, you appreciate it? No problem. No problem at all. Alright, let me hop back on to this. Oh wait, I hit the wrong thing? Did I hit the wrong thing? I might... No, I didn't. I'm back. Okay. Everything's good. Everything's good. Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad. And that's what matters. That's what matters. Right. Let's hop back in then. And we will do with the lovely P-Y-A. Pia. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Soda Zo. And yeah. I'm watching from Old Country Bumpkin Match. Oh! Nice! I watched that one. I love fantasy settings. And I do love when it's not like a cookie cutter self-insert. When the main character isn't like a cookie cutter, bland self-insert, like 19 to 25-year-old. I like the older man aesthetic. He's a very kind soul. I enjoyed it. I enjoy things like that. I enjoy it when like I'm a recovering isekai junkie. I watch a lot of isekai, and so many times the main character has been someone so plain and basic because it wants to be self-insert. So it's really nice seeing a main character who isn't just a self-insert. It's really nice seeing that. Someone who actually has a story, who has depth as a character. There are reasons to watch or consume content. Oh, guess how many languages you speak? Let me see. You know what? When someone asks a question like that, my gut feeling is 4, maybe 3. And I'll lock in 4 for my guess for how many languages you speak. But let's see. But yeah, I love it when characters are well thought out and whatnot. I think that's sometimes enough to a reason to consume content. Well, actually, any reason to consume content is reason to consume content. Whether there's a character you like, whether the animation's really good, or the choreography is really good, whether the world building is really good, or maybe it's really bad. Even that's reason to watch shows. I've watched what is a really bad show? I watched The Room. That's not an anime. That's just a very bad film. But it's a fun bad film to watch with friends. What else was it? I'm trying to remember what else was a very bad thing that I watched. Can't remember off the top of my head. 6. Oh my. Tamazight, Arabic, French, Spanish, English, Japanese. I'm A2. Oh, nice. Wow, that's... Wow. I rounded up to 4 because I thought it was like 3 or 4. I rounded up to 4 and you still spoke 6. Wow, impressive. Bro, send me your Twitter. I'd like. Can I self-promote here? It should be on my YouTube channel, but you know what? Fair enough. I'll just put it in chat. I don't use it enough. But, oh, wait. Oh, that went all right. But whatever. Sorry, let me hop back in then. Apologies. But A2, congrats. That's really impressive. Arigato. Of course. Dozo. I don't know many vocab words, but I know a few. I know a few. Right. This is she to G to Jo. No, Ju. J-U. I almost forgot. Lovely. Love Ali. This is just This is just and this is ne. Lovely. Good animation. Good choreography. Oh yes, good choreography. I remember when what was it, God of High School came out. I watched it because I heard the choreography of the fight scenes was really good. And for like the first 7 episodes it was, and I was really hyped about it. And then they dove into magic and they had that weird, I wasn't too big a fan of the show itself, but the choreography, I have to say, was really good. I really enjoyed that choreography. I thought they did it pretty well. But what else has good choreography? I'm trying to remember. There was something. Oh yes, well, choreography, it might be a stretch, the word choreography, but Left Hand Layup, the Chinese basketball show, was something I also recently watched and recently enjoyed. It was, but my favorite thing about it was probably how much, not, is it detail? Just how smooth the dribble moves were. How smooth the basketball was. It was just very smooth. And for that, I really liked it. The main character, he's very good, like, dribbling the ball, getting by defenders. Actually, most of the characters are. It's very, what's the term? ISO-centric show? ISO basketball? I'm sorry, I'm a big fan of basketball. I'm a bit of a sports anime fan, but it's just very well ISO basketball, where the main character will just dribble and get past and break down the defender and get by to score, or dribble, maybe use a pick and roll, something like that. The main character will dribble to usually create an advantage. That's usually how most of the shots went. And I found it very and many people found it very enjoyable. It was really good for that. I think the story was a bit lackluster from what I've seen, but sometimes the most important thing is just putting ball in hoop. And they were very flashy in that, and that was, for a basketball fan, for a sports anime fan, that's reason enough to watch the show for me. It definitely lived up to the expectations I had for it, I'll say. Definitely did, with all those flashy dribble moves and whatnot. All that flashy basketball play. Lovely. But then you have maybe topics that you want an anime to discuss, like, or a show to discuss. Was there a specific show with a topic that I wanted to see? I forget if there's a specific show that discussed a topic and that's why I watched it. Well, I hear Cells at Work actually is pretty good at Scratch Cells at Work. Two things came to mind. Bill Nye the Science Guy and Osmosis Jones. I'm sorry. Cells at Work, you're good. I respect you. I've not seen you. But I know the work you do. And I respect it. But this isn't about you. This is about Bill Nye the Science Guy. Topic he taught is science. Slam Dunk is the GOAT. Slam Dunk, I watched the Slam Dunk anime. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. Slam Dunk is the OG of sports manga. Sports content. It's the OG of Japanese sports content, in my mind. There's probably sports animes before it, but Slam Dunk is the king. The original king. I watched all 101 episodes, and I watched the Slam Dunk, the first movie. Oh man, it was great. I can only speak 4. You can't say only and then say speak 4 languages. You can't say only then say speak 4. You can't say that. I speak 1, and I don't speak it well. I'm learning to. I'm learning Japanese. I'm learning my second. Kannada, Hindi, Tamil, English. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I speak English. I don't even speak it the best, but I just speak English. I know maybe it's a more American viewpoint for me to say that more, like, multiple languages is a lot, but from my viewpoint, 4 languages is a lot of languages. You can't say only to that. And you want to learn Japanese? So eventually 5. That's, first of all, that's impressive. So congratulations. But second of all, you can't say you can't say only and then just say something incredibly impressive. No, I'm from Algeria, so even we start in primary school by 3 languages. Wow. That's... I know other cultures and other countries are very into learning multiple languages, but even usually, I would say most other countries, people are bilingual at most. On average, I'd say people are bilingual. To be trilingual and whatnot, that's just... You are exceptional. Even if you are a child, even if it's just what you're expected to learn in school, that's just exceptional. Bro, how old are you? I'm in my early mid-20s. And it's fun. I have my whole life to look forward to. Whole life to learn Japanese, but I want to learn it sooner rather than later. I'm 16. That's... And you know so many languages already. Wow, that's just impressive. That is just impressive. I don't know if you recognize it impressive, but I think pretty much everywhere else in the world would recognize that as impressive. And for me, I view that as very impressive. Wow. So many people know so many different things, and it's wonderful. They know more things than I could ever learn. And that's just wonderful. And that's a Q, not Q. Oh my, I forgot the little dashes up top. But that's fine. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. You're 21. Nice. And that's G. O. Cha. I was going to do CHYA, but just CHA. What? Mind blown. Na. Rya. Shi. Ha. Sho. This is, let me think. Bu. I don't know why it takes me longer. I should look into that. It does take me longer to go, not from he, but to be, for that note, or that bass. So I should learn that more. Cho. To. U. Ka. Ru. Ja. Lovely, lovely, lovely. One day I will meet you, bro. Oh, I hope one day I'm worth meeting, I should say. One day. I hope I can be someone worth meeting. But for now, I'm just a guy on his computer. This is she. E. E. But A again. Oh. I got confused. I got confused in the kana versus, sorry, the katakana versus the hiragana. I forgot they changed. I forgot. I thought we were both in katakana, but no, that first one was hiragana. That threw me off. Oh my. Oh me, oh my. Pa. Te. Te, yes. Alright. This is ku. Wait, no, K. It's K. And I think this will be the last one for stream because we're almost at 400 correct. And this one, of course, is NYU. U. Lovely, lovely, lovely. 22 for JR Hiro. Or J Hiro. Lovely. Alright. Thank you all for watching. This has been a wonderful stream. And I have a tradition of shaking some dice at the end. I want to work in Japan. Jobs? Oh, nice! It's I hear a lot of people. A lot of people? No, there's something I wanted to say. Yeah, it's a very interesting country. I say interesting country as if I've been there. I've never been there. How do I say this? I've seen what is it? oh man, what is it? Christopher Broad's Abroad in Japan channel. That's what it was. I watched his journey across Japan, and it's very knowledgeable, very great. And if you have the opportunity to work there, I believe he visited Japan because of I forget what the program was, but where he was an English teacher in Japan. He did that program, and that's how he first went to Japan and how he first fell in love with Japan. And then through that, he was able to have so many experiences. He wrote a book. He traveled across Japan. Journeyed across Japan multiple times. And it was great. I'm in the app, but the letters don't change? Huh. Why? I don't know. I don't know why. But yes, Japan, from what I've seen from that, is a beautiful country. If you do have the opportunity to work there, I hope you will have a life-changing experience. Well, you will have a life-changing experience, and I hope you will remember it for years to come. I hope even if you stay in Japan for a decade, you remember the first day you worked there, or were there, and how much you've grown and how much fun it was. I've actually requested my company to transfer me to Japan, and oh! That is awesome! Well, I wish you the best of luck. That is amazing. Right. I'm close to wrapping up stream, but as always, I roll a nice dice at the end of my stream, and from there, I yap about something. I'll figure it out once I roll it. I want to try to learn to ad-lib a little bit. That is a 17. 17. That's interesting. I do like the number 17. Is life absurd? Yes. Yes, it is. Life is always absurd. Always funny. But we're humans, and we try to find the humor and the joy in it. There is absurdity isn't necessarily negative. Thanks. Have a good night. Relax your stream. Thank you. I hope you also have a good night. Right, I rolled a 17. What does a 17 mean to me? Well, 17, for a year, I thought 17 was my favorite number because my two favorite numbers were 7 and 11. And if you mash them together in a way, you sort of get 17. Not really, but in a child's mind, sort of. So for a year, 17 was my favorite number. Oh, good morning. Well, good morning for you. It's good night for me. What was it saying? But yeah, 17. I mashed it up. It was my favorite number for about a year. And then I realized the next year, I was like, oh, that doesn't make any sense at all. Just like 7 and like 11. I don't need to force myself to like 17. And yeah, so I did that. I just stopped liking 17 like that, and I just like 7 and 11. Though 17 is a pretty okay number. I like how when it's multiplied by 3, it gets 51. Mainly because that's the first number that seems very prime that isn't prime. But yeah. 17. Pretty good number. Alright. That is going to do it. Thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. I really appreciate the nice little chatting that we've done. And, as always, have a day. I hope it's a good one. See ya.